Whenever I talk shit about capitalism by saying, like, look where socialist policies have been implemented, like in Sweden, Finland, Norway, Denmark, right? They have lower homeless rates, they have higher qualities of life. They're literally just happier in happiness index. Capitalism bros love to come back to me and say, well, they're still capitalist. So capitalism clearly isn't inherently the problem. It's insert other excuse here. And to that, I have to say, capitalism is built on infinite growth, which is the same thing as cancer. Capitalism is built on exploitation. It's built on prioritizing profit over human life, over human rights, ethics, for God's sake, right? You can do unethical shit, and if it gets you profit, you're a good capitalist. You're right. There isn't a single fully socialist country in this world. There's also not fully capitalist countries, right? Fully socialist countries would be public ownership of every single good and service. Every business is owned and operated by the government and run and funded with tax dollars. It's not for profit. The workers own the means of production. A fully capitalist society would be privately owned everything. You don't get public roads. You don't get public schools. To some level, people understand that the role of a government is not to profit, it's to protect and serve its people. Capitalism can grow infinitely by exploiting workers, by exploiting people to death, by holding their necessities hostage, because you're putting it behind the barrier of profit. And when you do that, there are going to be people who don't have enough to be able to afford it. So they'll die, like tens of thousands of people die in America every year because they don't have access to reliable housing. Just like how many thousands of people die in this country every year because they can't afford health care. The only way capitalism can work is when you heavily regulate it to keep companies from doing objectively immoral and unethical shit, and when you add socialist policies in. Because otherwise, capitalism will exploit not only its own population to death, but once it runs out of people to exploit within its country, it will spread that influence. It will exploit other countries for their labor or their resources. So I would not say that that means that capitalism works. I don't really give a shit if people want to get rich. If everyone in that society is living a safe, healthy, respectable, comfortable life, go get rich. I like the idea that you can get rich with a really good idea. But then again, that's where the regulation has to come in, right? Because if you let people get rich, they will get rich by continuing to do immoral shit. You get socialist policies to help you from the bottom, and you get heavy regulation to stop you from going evil towards the top.